Welcome to the Inc. Productivity Tip of the Day. Today's tip: how emotionally intelligent people use future you to make better decisions and live with no regrets. An expert opinion by Justin Bariso, author of EQ Applied. Have you ever made a decision or a series of decisions, and when everything was said and done, you asked yourself, what in the world was I thinking? Here's what I mean. Have you ever procrastinated for a big project, only to feel stressed when the deadline came? Set the wrong priorities, but only realized it after it was too late? Failed to prepare well, and everything went wrong? Said yes to too many things, leading you to feel burned out? Said or done something stupid, harming your relationship? We all have. And usually, we regret making those decisions. But I've discovered a tool that helps me make better decisions in those most crucial moments. It's a mental model rooted in emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage emotions. What's the tool? I like to call it Future You. What is Future You, and how can it help you to be a better business owner and leader? To answer that question, let's examine something I like to refer to as self-empathy. We'll see what self-empathy is, why most of us are terrible at practicing it, and how Future You helps you improve. So why do we make those poor decisions in the first place? Much has to do with our failure to practice self-empathy. At first glance, this is a strange term. By definition, empathy is the ability to understand or share the thoughts and feelings of another person. So, how do you show empathy for yourself? Self-empathy is the ability to understand or share the thoughts or feelings of your future self. In other words, a lack of self-empathy means you don't comprehend how the future version of you is going to think and feel about your decisions. You don't recognize the pain that will result from not starting earlier, not preparing well, saying yes to, well, everything. Don't feel bad. Just like showing empathy for others is hard, showing self-empathy is hard too. A big reason for that is something called the perspective gap. The perspective gap, or empathy gap, is a psychological phenomenon in which you dramatically underestimate how a situation will affect you if you're not experiencing that situation at that very moment. Interestingly, you have perspective gaps even when it comes to a situation you've been through before. You underestimate how challenging it is to start a new project, or how maddening it can be to spend extended time with family you no longer live with, even though you love them dearly. The perspective gap is also why your present self sometimes makes dumb decisions that your future self has to deal with. And here's where Future You comes into play. As you make decisions about how to spend your time, start asking yourself, how is future, insert your first name here, going to feel about this? By actually using your name, not simply saying future me, you separate your present thoughts and feelings from your future ones. Asking yourself how future you is going to feel will help you realize future you is going to be super stressed if you don't get it started right now. Future you is going to regret doing all this stuff that doesn't matter instead of this other important task. Future you is going to bomb this presentation if you don't prepare. Future you is going to hate this version of you if you say yes to one more thing. So you better start saying no. Future you will be much better off if you don't say this thing that doesn't really need to be said. Yes, present you and future you are the same person, but there's one marked difference. Future you knows how it ends. Future you has experience and the benefits that experience brings. Of course, future you isn't perfect, which means asking this question won't guarantee that you'll make great decisions all the time. And like all the rules of emotional intelligence, future you takes time and practice to learn how to use properly. But the more you ask the question, the better you'll get at seeing the future, which leads to your bridging the perspective gap more often, building more self-empathy, and becoming a more emotionally intelligent person. And for that, believe me, future you will be very thankful for the decisions you make today. That's all from Inc. You can find more emotionally intelligent articles and helpful business advice at Inc.com. Check back tomorrow for another tip from Inc.